see anything.
That was my weightlifting for the day. Is this Pick on Berry Day? It's always Pick on Berry Day. All right, I have 2 questions for you this morning. First one, would it be all right if life got easier? Would it be all right if life got easier?
Yes.
Pulling teeth. All right, and how about you in virtual land? Would it be all right? See, they beat you. They beat you. Okay. First try. Second, would it be all right if you could create and live the life you would love with clarity, focus, and ease?
Yes.
Ah, you're getting into it. I'm starting to believe you. All right, actually, I have 3 questions. Would you like to know how to live that kind of life?
Yes.
All right, it's easy.
Good.
And if you meant the yes to the first 2 questions, it's easy. Just lose your mind. Just lose it. You know, they tend to throw you into certain padded cells when you say you've lost your mind, but I think it's a good thing. Because the thinking that got you to this point in your life is not the thinking that is going to get you to what you would love. Now that's assuming you know what you would love. And a lot of people that I've run into really don't know what they would love. There's so many reasons for that. One is they don't know what life would be like if it were any different than it is right now. And they've lived their life based on what their families told them they should do, the schools told them they should do, the employers told them they should do, society, religious and social organizations, and then by their own limited thinking. And this is what I should be doing. And another reason if someone isn't living the life they love is because they don't believe they can do it. And the reasons are endless. Let me see. You know the list, by the way, because I know for many of you it's going in your head all the time. I'm not worthy. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the money. I'm too old, young, and take your pick. It's not practical. It wouldn't be normal for me to do that. And don't get me started on normal. I mean, to be normal means to limit yourself because you're trying to fit in. Ew. So can you think of any other self-limiting beliefs that's not in this list? Too fat?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Some people might be too thin. Although I've never heard that one. But anyway, anything else? Okay. Well, we got a good start, right? And, you know, there are other people that they're not following their dreams because they've forgotten to use that huge, powerful mental muscle you all exercised with abandon when you were children. You know what that is? Your imagination. Your imagination. Because with your imagination, you can lose your mind. Is that wonderful or what? You lose it to create something that's inspired and ingenious and expansive. Something empowering and uplifting. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore taught, the highest and best work of the imagination is the marvelous transformation that it works in character. Imagine that you are one with the principle of good, and you will become truly good. To imagine oneself perfect fixes the idea of perfection in the invisible mind of substance. And the mind forces at once begin the work of bringing forth perfection. So if you think of perfection and you imagine that for yourself, then the universe basically, your thoughts say, yes, I'm going to bring forth perfection. So let's go back to when you were a child. Come on, you can remember that. Remember when you were a child, you could do anything and everything in your imagination, couldn't you? I think I mentioned a few months ago tree climbing and how I, conquered each of the trees out in front of my house growing up. And, when I was at the top of the final tree and I would be swaying there in the wind, I had in my imagination that I could fly, that I could just release and glide on the wind. I still think that's possible. It's still somewhere in my imagination. I still go there sometimes, that I'm flying. And that's something that you can do when you lose your mind. And by that I mean releasing all the old ways of thinking, the doubts that you've had or are having, the fears, worrying, all of that holds you back. By losing your mind, I mean entering fully into that realm of your imagination. In her book, Divine Audacity by Linda Martella Whitsett, she says, imagination is our powerful capacity to picture what can be, and by holding that idea and developing it until we feel its effect while it is yet unmanifest, to live into that idea until it essentially becomes our reality. If you were here for the 10 o'clock meditation, I was kind of taking you through that experience of, what is it that is within me that I want to see demonstrating in the world, and become that person, through your imagination. Because as you do that, then the universe has no excuse not to bring you everything you want. In fact, the universe said, oh my goodness, look at how clear he or she is. Look how expansive that image is. I'm going to bring all the resources needed so that can happen in the physical world. In Unity, we have the 12 powers, and they include faith, love, strength, wisdom, power, imagination, understanding, will, order, zeal, release, and life. And if you think about it, it's the sense of imagination that is your primary power. because it is essential for the cultivation of all your other magnificent spiritual powers. Does that make sense? How can you experience zeal if you don't have the imagination of what you want to be zealous about? How can you have faith and love unless you have the imagination of what that would look like in your life? Now, imagination is your power to conceive, to see, to experience, and to bring something remarkable into physical reality. Something remarkable. I love that. And imagination is something wonderful too, because it is totally neutral. Really, because you have control over it. You can take your imagination anywhere you want. So wouldn't you want to take your imagination into something exciting and expansive and wonderful for your life? And yet, how many people, conspiracy theory, how many people use their imagination to go down the negative rabbit hole? A lot of people. And it's tempting. You know, that negative, contractive energy that kind of pulls you into, you know, somebody says, oh gosh, you know, I stubbed my toe, and say, oh yeah, that's awful. And you know what? I fell on my knee. And then say, oh, that's nothing. I bounced my head off the brick wall. You know, because we all just do the one up on each other. Or are those just my friends? Yeah, but to live in that expansive imagination, focus on what is wonderful for you in your life. And especially if it's not practical, especially if you've never done it before. I mean, I was listening to a speaker yesterday afternoon, and it was hilarious because he was talking about, well, he found a mentor, a 7-figure mentor. I think that's in the billions, isn't it? No, it's 8-figure. Anyway, a rich person. It was guiding him, and he said, you know, so what do you enjoy doing? And he said, well, you know, I like taking videos. And this is back when you needed a video camera to take videos rather than your phone. And so the guy said, okay, then you're a videographer. He goes, I am, but I don't own a professional camera. He said, well, okay, sell something and buy one. I said, oh, okay. So I forget what he had a collection of something, I forget exactly. And so he sold his collection. And he got enough money to buy the camera. He said, okay, I've got the camera, now what do I do? He said, all right, you're going to shoot film, and you're going to send them to me. He said, what do I shoot film on? He said, I don't care, just do it. And so he did, and he sent the raw footage to his mentor. And the mentor says, okay, great. Now you're going to edit it. He's going, huh? What's that? He said, well, I know how you can do it. He goes, you do? You could have shown me? He said, yeah, you go to google.com. And you look up how to do that. That's Google, by the way. So he went to Google, he found out the software he had to download, and he learned painfully how to edit video. And he said, okay, I learned how to edit video. He said, okay, good. Now what do we do? He said, so what do I do now? And then his mentor said, well, I want you to go out to restaurants and get them to let you video their food for $500. Now we're talking like 15 years, 10, 15 years ago. I mean, even today, I don't know, I wouldn't hand a stranger $500 to video my food, right? But the first restaurant he walked in, the owner happened to be there, and he said, sure, go for it. gave him $500, and he said, I produced an awful film. And last time I checked, it's still on their website. So all this, and he had Jordans. I guess that's something that's wonderful. I wouldn't know, but Jordan shoes, And he had an awesome collection of those also. So as he kept going through this, he didn't have the imagination, but his mentor did. And every step of the way, it's like, well, sell something. And he kept doing that. And the Jordans, I guess, brought him thousands of dollars, and I still don't understand why people spend that much money on shoes, but that's okay. And today, that's one of his many businesses. And today he's made millions. Because that mentoring, that, each step, okay, well, do this. Oh, I don't know how. Figure it out. And he did. And he started to get his imagination fired up so that he was coming up with his own ideas on what he could do. So I know, a lot of people say, well, I don't know how to do something. Well, it doesn't matter. Go to googl.com and you're going to find it. Or YouTube. That's one of my favorite ones. So, what's so powerful about your imagination is that the future you have envisioned demands one thing of you. That you be that person in every moment. And by being that person, and that's again, the 10 o'clock meditation, what you missed, some of you, is, first, what is the person who's already being that? What do they think? They think possibility, right? They think expansive. And, what's the emotion? And emotion is so important. Because we make most of our decisions based on our emotion. And then we go look for facts to back up, our emotional decision. Again, am I the only one who does that? And, how does that person speak? How does that person act? And I've said this to you before. And yet, I have to keep reminding myself. Because I have a few dreams left. How can I be that person? And it's the imagination that helps you expand the possibilities for yourself. And some of us are older than others in this room, but there's still so much more for us to do. Yeah, you do. So expand your thinking. I get so excited, I stumble over my words. You notice that? But expand your thinking. And expand it for yourself as an individual. Expand it for your family, even if they don't have the ability yet to imagine something greater for themselves. You be the high watch. You be the one that holds it, like that mentor. Yesterday, he held the high watch and he had the imagination. And do it for your Unity of Mojave Valley. Do it for your community. And do it for the world. And the thing is dare to follow your dream. Whatever your imagination can draw forth from you, dare to follow that. And think about it. Now, a lot of times a dream or our imagination gets triggered because we have what? Yearning and discontent. It's like, oh, that's not working for me anymore. I want that. And then you start imagining what that would be like in your life. And then you start going through this process. What would that person think? What would that person say? How would they feel? What would they do? and become that person. And we think we pick our dreams. When I was putting together this lesson this morning, I started thinking, well, wait a minute. What if it's that your dream picks you? What if your dream picks you? Even if it's something that is so far outside your comfort zone, but it comes to you, it's like, I want to do that, I want to be that, and it picks you. In a way, to become a minister, that dream picked me. I'll tell you, 20 years ago, that was not in my mind. And nobody came up to me and said, you should be a minister. That didn't happen. That dream picked me. So what if the universe gives you your dream, that your dream picks you because you are the one person in this world, out of the billions of people we have in this planet, you are the one person that can make that dream come true. What if your dream picked you? And if your dream picks you, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? You can make it happen. Yeah, I've seen a couple people here, right? But wouldn't it be wonderful to draw upon, the imagination that God is seeding in you as your dream, and knowing that because it is God-given, obviously it is yours. You can claim it. You can be it. Remember, Jesus said, it's God's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. The kingdom is your dream. And all you have to do to get to that dream, to fully use your imagination, is just lose your mind. So let's take a few minutes now, and let's lose our minds in some meditation. I invite you to close your eyes. Close your outer eyes so that you can see more clearly with your inner eye. Just breathe deeply. Breathe in the light and the love that is God. Feel it filling every cell and tissue of your body. And when you exhale, exhale any discomfort you might be feeling in your body, in your thoughts, in your emotions. Just become very conscious. Breathing in that light and love of God, having filled every cell and tissue of your body. And release any dis-ease you might be experiencing. Release. And then think to yourself, ask yourself this question: what would I love? If I could be anything, feel anything, experience anything, have anything, what would I love? What would I love? And then answer the question to yourself. Would it be all right if it was easy? And give that a strong affirmative yes. It is God's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. What is your kingdom? What is your dream, your heart's desire? Now ask yourself, what would that person already living that dream be thinking right now? Bring those thoughts to mind. How would the person already living that life be feeling right now? And bring those feelings into your heart. And how would that person be speaking? Is that person speaking with confidence, love, authority, compassion? What are their words? What's that person's words? Make them your own. And then finally, what would that person be doing? What action would that person be taking? And bring that to mind so that when you leave this service, when you go out into the world again, that you will be taking those actions. Because you are the person already living that dream. Know that you are the love of God demonstrating in this world. Know that you are the light of God shining brilliantly. Know that you're not the light bulb. You are the sun. Let that light shine. Let's take that light and love that you truly are as an expression of God and emanate it out into the community to bless this Mojave Valley. Sending out your light and love throughout this country, bringing peace and love into the hearts of our men and our women and our children. To send that light and love across the oceans, to bring light into the darkness that so many people are experiencing. and radiating your love to touch the heart of at least one person. So where there was darkness, despair, anger, fear, touch that heart so that that individual sees hope. They in turn will spread that experience to their communities. So as you return to this time and this place, know that you have made a difference. You have contributed to the transformation of this world.